Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us tonight. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. Me, Adebayo. Well, the eagerly anticipated FIFA World Cup draw has been done. It's just pitted teams against each other. So it'll be interesting to take a look at all of the interesting matchups that have been brought up by this. We will also, on the show tonight, talk about the preparations for the World Cup, the host nations telling us what to expect. We'll talk about that all for you. We'll also not forget to talk about the English Premier League and, of course, what's happening down here in the domestic league. And, of course, we have cycling for you on the show tonight. We have a special guest in the studio. I won't introduce him just yet, but sit back, relax, even as we go on this trip across the money-spinning world of sports. As you already know, it's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Akman, is suited and ready as we go along on this ride.
What a greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, our diverse viewers from all over the world. Always an action-packed world of sports. For the first time in about 15 years, I've never been less interested in the FIFA World Cup draw. Reality struck tonight when, I was watching the draw ceremony. I was like, how is it going to happen that we're going to have 10 African teams at World Cup for the first time, and there will not be Nigeria? It was so tough. It was difficult to accept. And then everything started coming back again. At some point, I had to narrow it down to what didn't we even do right as the media? What didn't the fans do? The players, administration, the country. This is the world's biggest, sporting event, not just football. It's tough, but it is what it is. The draw has been done. Tells you the show must go on without Nigeria. Hopefully there will be lessons this time around for us to, sit down, reflect, and decide to, start doing things differently. Yeah, that's how I want to start the show tonight. Nigeria, let's reflect that sports is becoming a major player, a fantastic revenue generator for countries all over the world. Small Curacao feel the effects now. Cape Verde is feeling the effects already. Countries are getting united. DR Congo, they haven't qualified yet, but the country is stronger by just making it to the Interconfederation stage. Nigeria, let's reflect. What do we want to do with our sports? Do we still want to keep playing with it because we think it's just recreation? Let's think. Tomorrow, the English Premier League will be back. Early kickoff. Aston Villa will host Arsenal. Red hot Arsenal right there at Villa Park. Can the Gunners prove a point? That's the sort of fixture that tests the Gunners every season here. This time around, Arsenal must prove that they can win those difficult matches and continue to march on towards the Premier League title. That should get our attention tonight on the show. You talked about cycling. I cannot wait to gear up and we get into that conversation. Welcome on board the Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Thank God it's Friday. Let's rock and roll.
All right, we'll do just that. Let me quickly introduce our guest with us in the Lagos studio for the first segment of the show. Cycling advocate Maurice Idels joins us tonight on the show. Maurice, thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let me just go straight to it. I listened to you. You talked about some of the things you've done, and you regard cycling not just as a sport, but as a catalyst for transformation. I want to know why.
So, there's various reasons. For me, it's a catalyst for transformation because I'm changing my life. I'm looking for a new purpose and a new future. But along the way, I'm meeting young people who are finding a passion in cycling. I'm meeting children who've been on the street, who've been given bicycles, and who are actually developing a love and a passion and achieving. I met some individuals along the way who represented their countries at the World Championships in October. They came off the street. They had no background. They had no parents supporting them, no nothing. They found a team that gave them some love and some passion. And these children have flourished. So absolutely, I think it's an incredible sport. I think any sport is amazing, and if we can encourage more children to play, I think we will see a change.
All right, a lot of people are looking at you and we want to ask, how did it start? You know, because there has to be something that fuels the passion. I mean, you talking about cycling, you've passed through a lot of countries. When did this start? Did it start all the way from South Africa as a kid? Was it the environment? Or, you know, some people will even say, I can't even understand where the passion came from. But for you, what was it?
So for me, I had a change in my life, and I came to a crossroads where I knew I needed to make a decision. I've always enjoyed sports. I've always enjoyed being healthy. And I had an opportunity where I could do something totally different. I've been chasing business, career, and money my whole life. And this opportunity arose. It's not something I sat and thought about for a long time. Literally within a matter of months, I had planned and I left and I was on my way. So I left the UK on the 31st of May. I've done 14 countries, nearly 11,000 kilometers on my bicycle now, and I'm heading to South Africa.
All right, before I yield to my colleague, I'm looking at you. You are there on screen. You've passed through a lot of so how challenging, knowing the terrain, you know, sudden change in governments, economic issues, I mean, a lot of challenges, you know, navigating your way, and you're not the type that goes around with the security detail. So how challenging has it been?
I think the first challenge was not listening to everybody. The first challenge was when I told people I was going to do this journey, a lot of people said, you're crazy, what are you doing it for? Why would you want to do it in your 50s? So I think that was the first challenge. The second challenge was not listening to everything that's out there. I would love more people to experience West Africa the way I have, to actually come out and have a look and meet the people, because too many people are sitting at home reading the newspapers and just not coming. It's an amazing place. The people are fantastic. I have not had one incident. I've not had one risk to my security or to me as an individual. I've had challenges. I've had an accident. I've had challenging roads. I've had roads that disappear, and those sort of challenges, absolutely. But I've never felt threatened or unsafe. And I think it's sad that a lot of people are not coming to see West Africa as a whole. So for me, the challenge was actually getting started, actually setting off on the journey, and not listening to all the negatives at the end of the day.
All right, all right. Okay, so let me just yield to my colleague, probably has a few questions too.
Maurice, I like what you're doing, and thank you once again for joining us on the show. You're leading a global movement, and I like it so much, dedicated to helping young people find resilience, purpose, and confidence through sports. Absolutely fantastic. But why cycling?
So for me, cycling, I mean, as I decided or tried to choose what method of transport to use, I considered walking, I considered motorbikes, and I considered the bicycle. The bicycle for me was the one that I would be the most connected with people to. A motorbike, you've got a helmet on, you're traveling far too fast, and at the end of the day, nobody would connect, and you would just flit past everyone. Walking was going to be too slow, so the cycling was a good combination in between. And it's proven to be exactly that. People do stop me. They do shout and say, stop, 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 come and have tea, come and share a meal. And I then can engage with people, the public, and I can actually break down some barriers, and I can learn. I can learn from the people that I meet. So cycling to me made sense. It seemed to be the right vehicle. I could cover enough ground.
That's right. Now you can actually ride into the objective, and watching now when you're not riding, you just pull your bike, across and then keep moving. You have a simple but powerful message when you said if you can commit to your sport, you can commit to your life. Can you just put some more details into that for us, please?
So I've always been a goal setter and somebody who sets goals and sets out to achieve them. And I think if you can achieve your goals in the sport, even if you don't make it, if you do not represent your country and get to the top level, you can use those skills in your career, you can use them anywhere in life, because that's what makes us great. That's what makes us achieve our goals and makes us, it's that determination and the perseverance to go out and train every morning, to go out and stay fit and exercise. And it's the same thing when you're working, when you're trying to strive to go ahead in your career, it's the same skills, it's the same skill set that you need.
Yeah. One ride, one child, one moment at a time. You see, I've been digging into you so deep, Maurice. I like it so much. And as you've been cycling across West Africa, particularly the people, the community, our culture, what is it about West Africa and the people that can key into your message of transformation?
Hospitality and kindness. And I think the importance of community. It is overwhelming how friendly and how kind people are. I did a post on arriving in Nigeria, and quite honestly, the friendliest welcome at any border post that I've been to, even the countries I've traveled to prior to this journey. I'm just made to feel welcome, and it is really, really nice to be in that and experience that. And when people have got so little, they seem to share so much. West Africa is a really friendly, kind, hospitable place. They welcome everybody. It's phenomenal.
All right, I guess that's a good place to leave it on the show. Any parting words?
If there's anybody in Nigeria that has got a cycling group or club that we can introduce young people to, I'd love to be a part of it. Please reach out. I've got various social platforms. Get hold of me. Would love to contact you.
All right, Maurice Idels, it's been nice having this conversation with you. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
In all that you do.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, so let's move on the show. It is time to talk about the FIFA World Cup, the draw. Well, Austin is still feeling the hangover. A lot of people are feeling it as well, but we have to be professional on this show. And I'm going to make sure Austin talks about the draw without mentioning Nigeria. And it's going to be very difficult for him. Austin, I have to be honest as well, first time since 1993 that I was disinterested in the draw. It didn't feel like this last 4 years. But the Americans put up a show. The Americans put up a show, it must be said. And I didn't expect anything less. I mean, seeing Lauryn Hill on the stage. I mean, you could argue maybe some people who probably had nothing to do with football, but they made it a show. It was fun. Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, all of those guys, legends from all the sports, the dignitaries there, the former footballers as well. It was fun. And Rio Ferdinand also, I think, did a good job. So, all in all, it was a good showpiece. And now we have almost all the teams that will be at the World Cup, save for those who will still qualify to the playoffs.
With your statement that you hope that Austin will talk about it without mentioning Nigeria. That's impossible. It's like telling me to talk about my life details as I'm from Nigeria. I won't mention Akwa Ibom state that I'm from. It's impossible. I will start calmly. I will be talking about the draw, and some way, somehow, the Nigerian in me will just pop up and say what I have to say. But shout out to America. Look, I said it right from when they won this bid, that yes, it is Canada, the United States of America, and Mexico, but it is America's show. And that's it. It's one power play right there. President Donald Trump has been asking for the Nobel Peace Prize for like forever. They don't want to give him. He had to twist Gianni Infantino to say, oh yeah, give me one. The entire world will be watching this. And that's him right there. He got a Peace Prize award right there at the ceremony. I think Kevin Hart also did a great job. Look, America is America. They are the powerful countries, the home of the free, land of the brave, and they showed it. They just gave us a sneak peek of what we're going to see with the next Olympics in Los Angeles. You know? So it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic event. I cannot wait, for the World Cup to come. So we have a great time. It was a good draw ceremony, as you mentioned. I think Rio Ferdinand also did.
Yeah. So, I mean, very interesting, Austin. You know, the show, I mean, Trump getting what he wanted, got a Peace Prize, Canadian Prime Minister, Mexican President, all of them in there. You could be forgiven if you thought it was an entertainment show because At some point, that was what it was beginning to look like. We're probably going to flash across the screen in a little bit, some of the groupings. But let's have a robust conversation by bringing in our guests on the show tonight. Of course, let's start with Sam Mbonu. Of course, he's a managing editor, ASN Sports TV. He was live at the draws, so he had saw a lot of things that we didn't see. Greetings to you, Sam. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show.
So Yemi, I'm waiting for Sam. I'm watching him trying to get his tech all right. When Sam is ready, we're going to bring him right into the conversation. But Bolariwa, Olajide right there in Canada. Bolariwa, good evening. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for having me, Okon. And Austin. Wow, Austin Okon Akman. I always mix them up. I think I'm more comfortable with Okon. So if you don't mind,
it's okay. It's okay. It's still me. Break it down the way you want. How is Canada buzzing right after the draw?
Well, trust me, Canadians are so much looking forward to the World Cup. Of course, they are one of the host nations. In the last 2, 3, 4 years, the love for football has increased all over Canada because the biggest sports competition 100% is coming to the country. So the younger folks are looking forward to it. I saw a stat earlier this morning where they said more young people are now following football simply because the World Cup is coming here. So it's just a draw. And trust me, there were viewing centers, live centers where people were actually following the draw. I haven't seen that in so many countries I've visited, for you to actually set up a viewing center for people to follow the World Cup draw. The games have not even started. And that's how much the Canadian people are looking forward to this one. Hopefully, they get a decent team to start their first game in Toronto, and they will see how far they can go in this year's World Cup.
And it's likely going to be Italy.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's either, the favorites to qualify from that round of playoffs is Italy and maybe Wales, Northern Ireland, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. But if Italy come to the party, they've been disappointing, and that's why they haven't played at the World Cup. They didn't play in the last 2 World Cups, so they've been disappointing, and they're looking to put that behind them, get the job done in the playoffs, and play Canada in the first game of the FIFA World Cup in Toronto, and that will be on June 12th. Massive day for you, Austin.
Okay, we'll wait to see. Let's go see if Sam is ready for us. He's right there on the field trying to give us the details. Sam, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready,
Welcome
Austin, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Fantastic.
How you doing today? Man, it's cool, man. We're done with the draws. I'm inside the mix zone where all the national representatives are having a little chat with media present here. So I was able to chat with Senegalese and, spoke to them about their famous win against France in 2002. Will they repeat that again when they clash with France? But, it was a great draw. Like you said, America and sports and entertainment are very, very, they are good at it. Even though Mexico, Canada are co-host country, America have more hosting venues than all the other 2 countries combined. So this is America's show.
We'll see. Just wait right there, Sam. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Is it really America's show? We'll get to know. But all I know is that we're going to enjoy beautiful football when the World Cup kicks off. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, more from the draw ceremony. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
All right, that's it. So welcome back. We're still on the show talking about the draws, and what you have behind me is the teams that have been grouped. Of course, we're expecting a few teams to make it through the playoff. Let me take a stab at it. Let me see how far I can go. Of course, in Group A, you have Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and of course, a winner of one of the playoffs. In Group B, that Austin referenced, you have Canada, they're going to play against a playoff winner. Then you have Qatar and Switzerland. In Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland In Group D, we have United States, Paraguay, Australia, and of course one of the teams that will make it through to the playoffs, Germany. In Group E, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. In Group F, the Netherlands, Japan, one playoff winner, and of course Tunisia. In Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Then we go to Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. And of course, you have in Group I, as Sam referenced, you're going to have a repeat of what happened in 2002. France and Senegal will lock arms. Then, of course, a team making it through the playoff will join them. Then you also have another European team, that's Norway, in the group. In Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Maybe if Nigeria had qualified, maybe we'll be in that group because, I mean, Nigeria and Argentina, who knows what always happens. But anyways, Group K, Portugal, a playoff winner, gets into that spot when they're through in March. They use Uzbekistan and, of course, Colombia. And in the last group, you have England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I mean, Austin, well, a fun fact is that more matches will be played. Maybe it will become increasingly painful because Nigeria will not be there, because you will have a lot of opportunities to see your team. This is a 48-team tournament, increased matches. But I don't want to dwell on whether or not Nigeria is not going to be there. It is going to be fun. If the draws that we saw today is anything to go by, we should just sit back for an entertainment masterclass and trust the Americans. I mean, no disrespect to Mexico and Canada, but of course, the eyes of the world, the sporting world, will be on the United States and what's on offer.
I completely agree with you 100%, Yemi, you know, particularly that we're having the expanded format for the first time. We're going to see beautiful football. We're going to see loads of football. We prayed for this as Africans, that we want more slots, you know. And this is a World Cup where the small teams will get us talking. Yes, a big team might go on to win it, but get ready for drama. Get ready for those upset stories. We saw a bit of it in Qatar, opening game. Saudi Arabia, Argentina. Argentina went on to win it, but Saudi Arabia got us talking with that win, you know. So we're going to see more of that. And yes, you've just said it again. America, we prove a point with this. I know Bolarinwa is waiting, but let's go back to Sam, because Sam is right there on the field. Sam, I love behind-the-scenes stories. When I go out on the field, that's what I look out for. I don't want to show what people are already seeing on television. What are some of the behind-the-scenes stories that you can tell me, Sam?
Saw the NFL president here.
Woo!
What is he doing here? Nigeria didn't qualify. He should be in Abuja trying to put our house in order. The Nations Cup is around the corner. Efron just retired. He should be in Nigeria putting our soccer, football in order. But he is here in the hall. What is he doing here? That's my question.
That's good.
And also, I saw a lot of former football great, Marcel Desailly, Asamoah Gyan. I didn't have that chance to, have a word with them. But what I failed to understand these days, I don't want to make it political, but you gave someone a peace prize, but he's about to invade Venezuela. Make it make sense to me for the peace prize. So that's by the way. So at the end of the day, they try to make this all about him, focus on him, forgetting the fact that we have 48 nations that are here to find out who they're going to play come summer next year. But the way people organize this thing, it was okay, great. The way the logistics and everything here in DC, cold, snowy atmosphere, and all the countries have found out who will be in the same group with them. But tomorrow, the fixtures will go up live. That they will know the date and the venue where they're going to play.
That's right. I love it. I love it. And I like the fact that we're beginning to understand sports as a soft power. What we should be praying for, Sam, is that the world leaders will use it positively, because we have been saying we do not want sports and politics to come together, particularly with football. Sam, stay right there. We'll come back to you. Bolarinwa, I've been monitoring a Canadian TV network since the draw was done. Canada is pumped up. You talked something about the interest this will do. You guys call it soccer over there. Are they thinking that Canada can really tell a story with this World Cup?
Austin, for me, based on what I've seen so far, I think that's the belief from Canadians. They actually do believe that the country, maybe not to win the World Cup, of course, that's almost impossible, but they have this belief that Jesse March has done a fantastic job. To be fair to the American, he's really brought the Canadian team back to the focal point. And they've since moved up the FIFA rankings, and they have a tremendous form going for them at the moment. So it's all about the way the team has been playing in competitive games and friendly matches. And if we remember, the last Copa America, they actually played the bronze medal match where they lost to Uruguay. So that's a fantastic progress being made by the Canadian team. So the people of Canada are very optimistic that the team can at least get out of the group and maybe play one or two knockout games. If they can achieve that, it's a fantastic outing for Canada. So the belief is there because the team is playing well. And for the first time in a very long time, Canadians are actually looking forward to a FIFA World Cup.
I'm also looking forward to it. That's why I asked you, because I'm coming to the World Cup. I'm not going to the USA. I want to come to Canada, you know, and maybe I might just stop in the United States of America for the final. I know Yemi wants to get into the conversation, but let's listen to how the United States government, they have detailed their efforts to welcome 6 million World Cup fans for the World Cup. Listen.
Right, we're going to have 6 million people that are going to come into the United States to watch these games. So I've talked with State, I've talked with Homeland, we've partnered together. The President has given this directive. If you're watching around the world, we're going to make travel seamless for you as you come into the country. We're going to make it as easy as possible. The FAA knows we're going to have a lot of international travel that comes into the country, and then as people get to the U.S., a lot of people are going to travel by airplane between the host cities. We are clearing the skies, clearing the decks, making sure air travel is going to be seamless. The FAA is already working on that. The one thing we can't control is the weather, so if we have weather issues that pop up, I don't have any control on that, but the FAA is working to make sure air travel goes incredibly well. We're prepping our tracks, making sure we have enough cars as fans go between host cities, making sure that our rail runs on time, our rail is safe. All that work is happening right now as we prep for a massive number of fans coming into the country.
But something that I talk about with President Trump almost every time that we talk about the World Cup is making it safe and secure, doing everything we possibly can to make sure that not just Americans that have the opportunity to go to games or to go to fan fests or enjoy the incredible birthday experiences that we'll be having over America 250 have a great trip. So we're focusing on making sure from a safety and security standpoint around the stadiums, in the diplomatic hotels, but certainly on the railways, on planes, on buses, that Americans, that those international tourists have a safe transit experience and that they're able to come back to their home country telling how incredible the United States of America is as a host.
Awesome, fantastic. I mean, that's what I always talk about, the power of planning and organizing in actions. Every time I talk to the president, Nigeria, I'm done.
You will always be interested in Nigeria. You know, I want to take up Sam on something he said when I was listening to him. I'm very sure Sam is still with us. You know, it looked like, you know, from us back here, and a lot of people watching, FIFA was bending over backwards to appease Trump. Yeah. And the question a lot of people will want to ask, and you know, I know you said you don't want to talk about politics. I don't want as well. But do you think political issues, you know, we know the whole matter with Iran, they were going to come, they were not going to come. Do you see some of these issues rearing up its head if Trump is at the center of everything?
I don't think so. I think all the qualified nations will be here this summer for the World Cup, regardless of the political tension between the host nation and some qualified nations, because Iran, they were represented here during the draw, and Qatar, all the countries from that part of the world are all represented here. So I don't think that will play a factor, when the World Cup kicks off next summer, because this is global world. And if Infantino should be hobnobbing with Trump, he should be able to convince him to let all the qualified nations participate regardless of the political dispute that they're having. So like you said, you can never separate the World Cup from politics. Saying that you don't want to mix football with politics is a facade, because you have to secure the promise of the host government before the Football Federation will bid, because it is the host government that are going to provide security and other logistics, travel arrangements for visitors. So you can't separate both. So now, sports is a part of international politics.
I agree. All right. I mean, let me also throw this in before I yield the floor to Austin. Still talking to Sam. Feeling the pulse of the people. Talking about the quality-wise. I mean, maybe we should just talk about like football fans. A lot of people, I don't know if you agree, but a lot of people are saying maybe there might be issues with the standard of the World Cup this time out. There'll be more matches to be played, but people are beginning to say maybe we're going to see big score lines. There are going to be a lot of drop-ins, a lot of big margin wins. Do you envisage such happening at next year's World Cup?
Most definitely. Imagine when you have Haiti play Argentina. Let's say in the same group, they are not. What will you expect? To be a high score line. Most definitely, there will be an upset. There will be upset in this World Cup. There will be drama. There will be high scoring games. There will be low scoring games. There will be a lot of things. So 48 teams, that means more matches. That means more sports stories. That means more fans. That means more cultural integration, because without the fans, you can have these soccer World Cups. So regardless, there's going to be a high-scoring game here next summer.
I completely agree. Bolarinwa, what sort of draw was it for African teams?
Well, for African teams, I think, the World Cup is expanded. We now have 48 teams, so it simply means you have a better chance of qualifying for the knockout stage. And particularly, I was looking at Group E, where we have Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. On paper, of course, Germany should be the favorites to qualify. That's why they are in pot one. But you look at the group intensely, and you see a good chance of Ivory Coast finishing second, or even one of the best finishers in that group. And that's a good chance of qualifying for the knockout stage. Same thing applies to Egypt, where they will be playing against Iran, New Zealand, and Belgium. So I think overall, for all the African teams, they have a very good chance of going into the knockout stage. The only team that I think might struggle a bit in their group is Cape Verde. They'll play against Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia. So that's relatively tough for a small nation going into the World Cup. But overall, for the likes of Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, I think they have good-looking groups. And I think with the quality that they have, their rankings with FIFA, they should do enough to qualify for the next stage. There will be upsets. I mean, just like Sam was saying, I look at England against Panama, for example. That's like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Then I also look at maybe Germany playing against Curacao. Trust me, these games are going to be high-scoring, because there is no chance that England or Germany will not beat these teams. I'm not saying there won't be upsets. You mentioned Saudi Arabia against Argentina at the last World Cup. It's definitely going to happen. But I think teams have learned their lessons more this time. They won't be giving that chance to the smaller teams to embarrass them. They'll be looking to go in there, do the job, and qualify for the next stage. So African teams have a good shot this time, and I won't be surprised if we find one of them playing in the semifinals. It's a tall order, But I think there's a good chance that one of them makes history this year or next year. Morocco almost did it, and I have a feeling it could be 2026 where it happens eventually.
It would have been Nigeria, Bolarinwa, but our leadership said no. We should stay
Austin, do you know the exciting part,
Austin?
Austin? Now that you mentioned Nigeria, the exciting part is that South Africa, Mexico will play the first game of the World Cup. That could have been Nigeria against Morocco.
Wow. Bolarinwa, thanks so much for your time. Always a delight to speak with you. I'll catch up with you right after the show. Sam, let me get you talking. I saw you on your socials where you were speaking to the Senegalese journalist. What sort of draw was it for Africa? Aside Senegal, Morocco, Ghana, which other African team do you think will get us talking?
I think Algeria they have a favorable draw. They are in Group J alongside Argentina, Austria, and Jordan. So if they hold up their own, I think they can get 6 points from Austria and Jordan without no disrespect to Austria or Jordan, but with what we've seen about African countries, how dogged they are when it comes to the World Cup. Look at Morocco got to the semis the last edition. So African team, just like Bolarinwa said, they got a favorable draw in this World Cup. And I will not say there's no group of death here. There's no group of death. All the groups are evenly distributed. Because during the draw, Rio Ferdinand gave reason why it's not going to happen, because that's what I understood from what he was saying. Yeah. No team from the same confederation will be grouped in the same group, apart from UEFA, because they have more nations representing them. So the houses were evenly distributed among all the groups, so no group of death. An African team got a favorable draw. Now, when you go to Group E, Germany, Curacao, Ecuador, and Ivory Coast, Ecuador can beat Curacao. They can get points against Ecuador. But against Germany, I don't know what may happen. They can see for Germany, we saw, they are struggling a little bit, during the qualifiers. We've seen that happen a lot. So when you go also to Ghana, Croatia, Panama, and England, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up there. Ghana can get points against Panama. Then talk about with Croatia and England. They go there, whatever they get, cool. Now, let's go to Holland, Japan, Tunisia, and winner of playoff C of UEFA. Tunisia can hold their own against the Blue Samurais. So Africa got favorable draw this time around. And I would say there's no group of death.
We'll see. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time. You know what? Keep a seat for me. I'll see you on the final day in New Jersey. Thank you.
I got you out, man. Appreciate that, man.
All right. Thanks so much, Sam, for your time on the show. Yeah, that's it. The show must go on. Nigeria, although Nigeria draw done, we're waiting for the action.
Let's come home now quickly as we can. Let's talk about Nigeria Premier Football League. I'll just go across to talk about the fixtures. Match day 16. The match is coming in thick and fast. El Academy Warriors will take on Barao FC. Match day 16. Abia Warriors will be up against Rivers United. Rangers International will take on Bayelsa United. You have Kano Pilas up against Kun Khalifa. Kora United will take on Niger Tornadoes. All of these matches on match day 16. Nasarawa United will be up against Shooting Stars. Plateau United will be up against Warri Wolves. Remo Stars will be up against the Aba Elephants themselves, talking about the Yimba. Then, of course, Wiki Tories will take on League leaders Ikorodu City. Will take them up for size. These matches will be played on Sunday. All right, it's going to be very interesting. Then on Monday, you have Casina United up against Bendel Insurance. So that's a game to look forward to. All right, let's travel abroad without leaving where we are and quickly talk about the English Premier League with a few minutes that we have left on the show. Interesting matches to be played in the English Premier League. Let's start with the games to be played tomorrow. Tomorrow, on match day 15, in the early kickoff, Arsenal will take on, Aston Villa will host Arsenal at the Villa Park. Bournemouth will take on Chelsea. Everton will take on Nottingham Forest. And, of course, Manchester City will take on Sunderland. Newcastle United will take on Burnley. These are matches we played on Saturday. Let's see the other matches. Of course, in the English Premier League, still on Saturday, Tottenham will take on Brentford. And, of course, Leeds United will take on Liverpool. This is a very good time to play Liverpool. Let's go to Sunday. On Sunday, Brighton over Albion will take on West Ham United. Fulham will take on Crystal Palace. Then on Monday, the Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Manchester United. Now, talking about tomorrow's fixtures, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta, he's been speaking, and of course, he's had to battle a lot of things. But here are his thoughts ahead of the Aston Villa game.
I don't know. I don't think we have to get to that stage. But the only thing I said is whenever it's possible to help and give the players an extra day or hours to fulfill the maximum potential, let's do it. That's it. We are ready. We are ready from today for tomorrow's game. That's for sure. For what they've been doing, the way they've been playing and winning matches, certainly is a team that it's in great form, and we know that. We know obviously the manager and the incredible job that he's done there as well. So we know the task tomorrow, but we always take it as an opportunity. That's consistency again to perform at the highest level and win another game, and then we will go back to the same question 3 days later in the Champions League and then at the weekend, because that's the nature of the game, and that's exactly how we have to take it every game. Every time you win a game, obviously, you are a little bit closer to your objective, and it's the only thing that we can do. We have to focus on performing, preparing really well for tomorrow. We know the kind of game that we're going to play, and be ready for it to fulfill our potential.
All right, Mikel Arteta sharing his thoughts ahead of the Arsenal game. Also, a quick one before you talk about Chelsea. Do you think that the injury crisis, should we even call it a crisis, is it getting deeper for Arsenal?
I do not think so. And I've been listening to the guys on Talk Sports, and some Arsenal fans feel that they've been so harsh on Mikel Arteta and his team. I think the depth that we see in the Gunners team now, it's difficult to just come up and say they're having an injury crisis. Are players injured? Yes. But the Gunners, have they shown that they can play football without some of the key players this season? Oh, yes, absolutely. And that's what you need from a team. And that is why this is a test, a real good test. Aston Villa, they've won 6 matches in a row. Their last 5 is clean. Arsenal's last 5 is 3 wins and 2 draws. And going to Villa Park is going to be a proper test for Mikel Arteta and his team. And that game can be won in the middle of the park with a bit of intelligence, because they can't decide to go speed with this Aston Villa team. Time and time again, they've shown it that for you to break them, you must be brilliant offensively. That's what Unai has done with this team. So, yeah, I don't think there's a crisis. No, we shouldn't make it look that way. The team that should be bothered, that I think about all the time and wonder that they need to define their crisis, is Chelsea. And look, Maresca, he knows that game against Bournemouth is going to be a very difficult one. With the way they lost the game against Leeds, they cannot afford to sleep against Bournemouth. Let's listen to him.
Since the end of the game, I didn't see the players because we come back from Leeds yesterday afternoon, and I will see the players in a while, and we're gonna have time just to focus on tomorrow game, because probably in less than 24 hours we have another game. We also probably pay the bill in terms of Leeds away, probably in some way can be more complicated than the previous game. And as I said, we watch the game, and there are things that for sure we need to avoid in the future. Most of the rotation we do is because the other one, they cannot play. So we are.
Yeah, that was Chelsea's manager Enzo Maresca. Terrible run for Bournemouth, but with what Leeds did to Chelsea, it's difficult to quickly call it Chelsea's win. But let's see if they can show character and bounce back. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, just keep talking sports. Bye for now.
It's a wrap here in Lagos as well. I want to thank you for allowing us into your homes without knocking the door. As a privilege we will never take for granted. This is the last edition of the show for the week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend by extension. You'll see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.